looking forward to being an author, writing fiction books. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in school right now to hopefully take classes to become a writer and then an author. So, the questions I wanted to ask you were, what is your current job position, and how long have you been in this role?
Okay. So, can I ask you a question first, just out of curiosity?
Yes.
Did you by any chance look me up yet on the internet to see what you could find out about me?
No, I didn't find anything else that it showed on it. All it had was your the number for the campus, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, just sort of for future reference, it's probably, and I'm saying this because I'm a journalism professor, it's probably a good idea for you to, probably do a little bit of background research.
Oh, okay.
On your subjects, and you can find out a lot about me looking me up on the internet and my website and so forth. But in any case, I'm a professor at Baruch College, which is part of the City University of New York.
Okay.
I teach journalism.
Okay.
By the way, Caroline, I just looked you up on Facebook. Are you actually at the University of Central Florida, or is that old information?
That's old information. Yeah, I put that on because I was going to UCF.
I see, and you transferred, I gather.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone yet. I put that on there a while ago because I was planning to go there after high school, but it didn't turn out that way, so I didn't get to change it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And another question I had for you was, what do you enjoy most about your job?
Well, so I have, I really wear two hats. I'm a journalism professor, and, I teach at Baruch College, which is known to be one of the most diverse schools in the country. We have young people here from all over the world, every conceivable ethnic group. They speak literally hundreds of languages. Most of them are first-generation college kids and or immigrants. And, I would say that in my job as a professor, I think certainly interacting with my students is what I enjoy the most. But the other hat I wear is as a book writer and as a journalist. And, so for me, what I really love the most about that is the research and the reporting.
Oh, okay, that's good. So what inspired you to do that?
Well, I think lots of things inspired me. I mean, I was part of the generation that grew up after the Watergate scandal, if you know what that was.
Yes,
during the Nixon administration. So I think a lot of us were sort of inspired by Woodward and Bernstein. That was certainly one influence. But then, one of my father's closest friends was actually the man who helped found Ebony magazine. And we used to spend every Thanksgiving with him, and I sort of really grew up, hearing Ben's sort of more stories about, being in the journalism world. And he had actually gone to Ebony. He had grown up during the Depression, and like many people of his generation, he had actually briefly joined the Communist Party, and so he was blacklisted by all the mainstream media. And the only publication that would hire him back in the 40s, I think this was the Chicago Defender, which was a very lefty African-American newspaper, and he went from there to being the founding editor of Ebony magazine. And so he had a very colorful life, and met, a lot of the leading figures in the civil rights movement and so forth in his work, and I think that really influenced me as well.
Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, and do you work in a team or independent environment?
Well, both. I mean, as a book writer, I'm very independent, and I love that. But, as a journalism professor, I work in a small department, and, I work with my colleagues, and so I get to have the benefits of both.
Okay, so how would you say that having both impact your work style?
Well, I think that they help me stay balanced. I have kids, and I used to say that part of the reason I went back to getting a job as opposed to freelancing and writing books was that I needed a reason to get out of my pajamas, and I needed adult conversation because working on my own at home, I would often literally be in my pajamas till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and sometimes the only human being I encountered was my baby. So I love the solitude of working on my own and researching, but I feel like it's really sort of helped to keep me grounded and improve my people skills being in kind of a group setting in an academic world.
Okay, all right, that's nice. So, what was your major in college?
Well, in college. I majored in German and government, which is basically political science. And then I went to journalism school for my master's.
Okay, all right. And do you have any tips or suggestions that would help me to pursue a career in writing?
Yes, my first and foremost is read. Read everything you can. Read widely. Do you know what your major is going to be?
I think when I looked it up, it was creative writing.
Okay. Well, I guess my first reaction to that would be either double major or minor in, at the very least, literature or history or sociology. Pick an area that will really expand your knowledge base, because you can't write in a vacuum. You have to have something to write about. And starting with your own personal experiences is certainly helpful and beneficial, but books are really a window on the world, and I would read a lot. I cut back on your social media. I don't know you, but I know young people, and I think people are altogether too wrapped up in social media, and I would really become very conversant with the news. I'd read the newspaper every day, a quality newspaper like the New York Times, ideally, or the Guardian, and I would just read a lot of books.
Okay, yes, I have a lot of books that I buy, a lot of fiction, mostly fiction books. I buy a lot of fiction books, and I like to get a little bit of inspiration of how to write, because I've written maybe 2 books before, but I never really finished them. But I'm just, because I did them in high school, so I have been preparing to take college classes that kind of help me to get a little bit more creative. Like, I'm planning to take, I think it's a creative writing class that they have at my at Valencia to help me. And then there's 2 classes, or not 2 classes, but 2 courses at UCF, and then at another university called Full Sail. And one's creative writing for entertainment, and another one's just creative writing. So, do you have any ideas of which one would be better for me?
Well, I have really no idea based on what your description is. I mean, I generally tell my students that they should pick their courses in large part based on who's teaching them. So I would research professors who are teaching them.
Oh, okay.
And find someone who, A, has a reputation as a good teacher, and B, someone who you think has something interesting to say. But I would also, and I really can't stress this enough, really move beyond the creative writing, because you really, you want to ground yourself in a discipline like literature or history or sociology or even the sciences, something that's going to give you a window on the world, which will be essential to finding the subject that you want to write about.
Okay. All right. Well, that's should really help me a lot. Thank you very much.
Good. You're welcome. Anything else?
No, ma'am. That is it.
That's it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, best of luck, Trayvon.
Thank you. I had a quick question.